TechTime Radio. Visit them online at techtimeradio.com.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, technology news of the week. The show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host and technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise. Our co-host Mike Raday is in studio today. He is the award-winning author and a human behavior expert. Now, of course, we're live streaming during our show on 4 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. We are friends from different backgrounds, but we bring the best technology show possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, today on Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, buckle up as we dive into the latest tech news and stories. And here's what's coming up for the show today. First, we discuss the FBI's recent success in dismantling the infrastructure of a notorious ransomware gang. Then we dive into the upcoming transformations at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Disney Theme Park Division is embarking on a new significant project that promises to change the faces of those beloved destinations. Then Gwen Way returns to the show with the must-have gadgets and gear item. I may have bought 10 of these already, but you know what? I think they're pretty great, so we'll be talking about that. Additionally, we'll explore the intriguing issue of the AI and human emotions as OpenAI has raised some concerns. Finally, discover how Waymo has become the streaming sensation. But wait, aren't they an AI car company? In addition, of course, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, the technology fail of the week, a possible Nathan nugget, and of course, our pick of the day, whiskey tastings, to see if our selected whiskey pick of the day gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. But now it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, FBI takes down cyber gang radar. Let's go to Corinne Westland for more on the story.
The FBI has announced taking down the infrastructure belonging to a notorious ransomware operation known as Radar. As a result of the FBI's operation, the organization took down Radar's website and seized a number of servers. The website now features an FBI message stating this website has been seized. In total, 3 servers in the US, 3 in the UK, and 18 in Germany were confiscated. Furthermore, the FBI took 8 criminal domains in the US and 1 in Germany. Nathan, does this mean they are gone for good? Back to you in the studio.
All right, this is not
Mark has an opinion on this.
Mark did have an opinion. I think he wasn't on camera. All right, now this is not the first time enforcement has recently seized IT infrastructure belonging to ransomware operations. As a few months ago, the police also hit the Lockbit cyber crime gang. But what's noteworthy to notice is that all they did is took the hardware of these ransomware gangs. They didn't arrest anybody. They didn't put anybody in jail. Nobody was essentially caught here. It was essentially going on into a room with a bunch of computers that were operated most likely remotely, and they got in and they got to take it down. So this is like dumb criminals history of I went on in there. I took all this information. We did such a good job because we shut down these 4 sites when really this absolutely means nothing. Nothing
This
in
is like airport security.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
airport security. This is nothing, but yet a huge blotter. This was all over the news today of look at how good the FBI did this. They took down, all they did is they hijacked a website, which anybody can do with a domain name login, changed it to say the FBI has seized it, took their hardware, but they continue to go. Now, it's interesting as the ringleader named Brain employs the double extraction tactic by stealing sensitive information from the victim's organization first, and then deploying the encryptor, which renders the entire IT infrastructure useless. It demands a ransomware payment, normally in Bitcoin or Monero, in exchange for the decryption key. Now, if the company, of course, refuses, then essentially what it does is it'll take the systems down, and then it'll sell all the information that it has on the backups to whoever wants to get it taken care of. More on the story that Corinne Westland talked about. This is not a setback for a ransomware gang, and a lot of the time, this is expected behavior, and they will have already had another operational site ready to go. So what happens is, as FBI and people get closer and closer to these ransomware gangs, they're pretty smart in what they do now, and they'll just let those things operate and stand alone, and then they'll hijack over to another ransomware gang or to another facility and get stuff ready to go and operate. And they're expecting this to cause as significant of a delay of 2 months and as a minimal impact of 2 to 3 days. So does that really generate front page press news that the FBI took them down?
Well, we have to have good news every once in a while.
Okay,
right?
That's right. Okay, that's great news, isn't it?
It's a fluff piece.
It is a fluff piece, but it's all over in the news. So if you hear about it, you can now say you also heard about it on TechTime Radio, and that it really means nothing.
It really
other
means
than
nothing.
The FBI got some websites they took over. We're going to be talking about taking over websites and domain names a little later in our segments today. On to story number 2. Disney has a huge announcement it made over the weekend, and our pixie dust expert, Odie, has more on the story.
All right, so they had D23 over the weekend.
Okay.
Super stoked that I couldn't go. Villains Land is going to be coming to. These are going to be specifically what's coming to the parks, both Disneyland or Florida and California.
Okay.
In Disney World, they'll be adding Villains Land, a new theme to Disney villains that will be coming to Magic Kingdom in Florida.
Okay.
Which
is the worst park of all the parks, in my opinion.
Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, how horrible. And you have to park out in Timbuktu Land.
Okay, all right.
You have to take either
let's make sure we understand why.
Why?
This is the worst.
This is the worst park for parking.
Why do you
I
hate
hate the parking. Have you ever got into the Magic Kingdom, right?
Yes.
So Magic Kingdom, you have to park 2.5 miles away. Then you have to take a boat ride that takes you another 30 to 40 minutes to get over there.
The last time I did that was in 2017.
Okay.
So lately, I've been staying at the resort, like hotels.
Yeah.
I don't got to deal with all that.
Okay.
Well,
I need to make Odie money.
Disney
That's what
World.
I need to do.
Didn't you go to Disney World a few
Yeah,
years ago?
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
okay.
So you're just complaining about the parking.
I just don't. I hate that park. Okay, so they're gonna put in Villains Land.
Okay, so they're also adding Cars in Frontierland. It'll include 2 attractions, a racing ride through the mountains, and an attraction designed for younger children. Marvel Studios ride will be at Disney California Adventure.
Okay, that's the best part.
It's going to be 2 rides. There's going to be Avengers Infinity Defense, which will be a battle against King Thanos, and Stark Fight Lab, which will feature Robert Downey Jr. returning to his role as Iron Man.
Oh.
There's also going to be Avatar ride, which is going to be a whole new section of the park in California Adventure.
Okay.
But it specifically is not going to be anything resembling the one in Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
They're going to have a new kind of theme going on there.
All right. So have you been to the ride in Avatar Land? Is pretty nice in Animal Kingdom. I'll say. I think it was done up very nicely.
I will say that I never really cared for the franchise growing up. But when I walked through Animal Kingdom and I saw that, I was really blown away. I'm like, whoa, do I need to watch these movies now?
And you watched the movies and you were disappointed, and the land was much better. Yeah. The land is really cool. I mean, they really go all out on that.
Coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom, speaking about that, they're going to be adding Tropical Americas. It's going to be a new 11-acre land theme to the Tropical Americas, which is going to include Encanto, boat-based ride that takes you through the houses.
Okay.
Or through the house.
Okay.
This is my new favorite thing that I'm super stoked for because ever since the movie came out, Monsters Inc. roller coaster.
Oh, where's that? Which park is that going into?
That's going to be at, oh my goodness, in Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, they're going to probably put that in the back by the roller coasters over there.
a roller coaster. You're gonna be zooming. It's gonna be in the zooming fleet of doors, like at the end of the movie and during the climax.
Yep.
When they're going through looking for Boo or Randall.
Okay.
And it'll be the first suspended roller coaster where seats hang below the tracks for
Oh.
Disney.
For Disney.
For
Okay, so
Disney.
you're gonna be hanging out there and
Yeah,
going around with the doors
zooming through the
probably
doors.
back and
That
out.
sounds
That'd be
really
kind of
cool. They're
Okay.
also gonna add a Coco ride, also a boat-based attraction in Disney, California. Um, will you'll travel to the land of the dead. And yeah, these are gonna be coming in the years of 2026 and 2027.
Okay.
And honestly,
They're having to keep up with Universal Studios, right?
that's what
So
I was gonna say. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the whole Universal thing.
I
like,
have, yes.
Epic Lands, I think is what
Yes,
they're calling
yes.
it.
Yep.
Disney has really they've been really quiet, and I thought that was really weird. But now that they've just unveiled this at D23, it all makes sense. And
You got to keep up with the Joneses, otherwise people are going to jump and go over to the other
Mhm.
park. And I'll tell you, Universal Florida is probably the best park in Florida.
The parking is pretty good there.
The parking's well, it is
Okay,
because
that's
if you're a park voucher, you get valet parking for free. So we have season passes, so I just pull right up to the door and boom, they park it for me for free.
How awesome is that?
It was pretty awesome.
apparently to him.
All right.
Yeah, well, we all know why Nathan does what Nathan does.
What is that?
Well, you just told us.
What
You told us you hate Disney World because of the parking situation,
do.
and you love Universal for the parking situation. So
parking's a big deal.
parking is really important to you.
Have you ever played Zoo Tycoon or any of those roller coaster?
Anyway,
Yeah, I go out of my way to put parking
you know-
way far
You put
away.
parking way.
Yeah,
I
just
put it. You put it at the very far. I put mine very close.
do you
to
want to know what they'll be closing to make room for all of this?
I heard Tom Sawyer Land is going to close in the. Is that right?
Yeah, so Tom Sawyer Island and Rivers of America will be closed. Disney's Tropical Americas will replace Dinoland USA and Animal Kingdom.
Oh, that's in the middle of no man's land. That is like dead and should
Which
have been.
honestly, I'm
should've been-
okay with.
I feel like
but
I
I'm-
feel like Nathan has more on this story than you do.
No,
is that
no,
true?
no. I mean, I think she's our little pixel.
No.
pixie.
I
Wait, what
mean,
are you
you're
talking about?
commenting to the way he's commenting on it. He's like, "Oh, that's in the middle of Dead Man."
Well, the
blah, blah, blah,
dinosaur
blah.
land
Have
is
you
like
been?
in.
No, I haven't been to Disney Park in since 1990
so-
something.
Animal Kingdom, it's all kind of nice. You've got Avatar Land, then you've got Africa, then you've got like Asia. And then out in the middle of nowhere to the right as you first enter the park, there's Dino Land. Nobody touches it. Nobody looks at it. You go through, they still have like an old play structure which is centered towards kids. Nobody plays on it.
I would go there.
All right, so I just got corrected online by somebody. It is not the park voucher; it's the premium
Oh my god.
pass holder pass on there. So I just want to make sure I didn't.
See,
yeah.
we're all
Let me
really
tell you,
concerned about your
I don't-
parking.
Anyway.
I don't hear about anything about the show, but as soon as we start talking about Disney stuff, we have people coming
So-
on left and right.
Fans are speculating online, and this is kind of a heartbreaker for me, that the new Monsters Inc. ride in Hollywood Studios could replace Muppet Vision, which is a heartbreaker for me. I don't know if
I
you
kind of
can.
like it. I do. I like the
You
whole
like Muppet Vision?
pre-show
Yeah,
where you got
yeah.
Gonzo coming on out and the TVs and back and forth. I
Yeah.
do like that show. I don't like that Figment or whatever the thing is that they have, that 3D thing where it does kind of cheesy. Because remember, it's like
What do
this,
you? Figment is
not
an
Figment,
Epcot.
but
okay.
who is the one that they use? They use some other type of third-party character in the Muppet Vision. I got to find the name
Oh,
of it, but it's
man.
just this big thing that comes on out, and they did a couple of the Fozzie jokes where they have like the long nose and a bunch of other. never mind.
Okay, moving
continuing
on.
Continuing on.
But
Okay.
yeah, so that's the one
That's
big
big
bummer.
news. That's big.
That's
news.
big. That's big news.
All right,
Okay.
I need to fall in love with something.
Well, you can fall in love with your AI.
Well, tell us about this in story number 3.
I don't even know why we're talking about this, honestly, because OpenAI, which is the creator of chatbot,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
ChatGPT 4.0
Okay.
is worried that people are developing feelings for the chatbot. Now, how long have I been talking about this stuff?
You have been talking about this for a
Since
while.
the beginning of AI.
Since the beginning of time.
Okay.
The introduction of ChatGPT 4.0 has been seen as a major step up in the abilities of OpenAI's ChatGPT platform. It is now able to produce more lifelike responses and can work with a wider range of inputs. However, there may be a downside.
Or maybe a downside. What are the downside?
With this increased sophistication. With OpenAI itself warning that Chat GPT 4.0's capabilities seem to be causing some users to become increasingly attached to the chatbot with potentially worrying consequences.
Okay, so
Duh.
I don't quite get how you could. So I'm struggling. I see this story. So tell us more about it. I am just absolutely flabbergasted at how you could fall in love with something that you're typing with on your computer.
Okay, do you
How are you surprised by that?
do you have a boat?
The
Hey,
AI is hold on. The AI is trained to respond to you. Yeah, but what is so
but I'm
surprising about
typing
that?
into something.
Okay,
I
I'm
can't
typing in,
emotionally.
I'm feeling very lonely today. AI responds, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry to hear that. Do you want to talk about it?" Boom, floodgates open right then and there.
Yep, you're getting dopamine
Yeah.
rushes because something is showing you something that you're interpreting as empathy.
Especially if that person is alone or they
Okay.
think they're alone.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
continue.
Now,
Yes.
and we've talked about this many times. Do you have a boat? Don't you have a boat?
I have a boat.
Did you name your boat? Does it have a name?
No. It's called Rust.
Okay, it's called Rust.
Rust.
Okay. It's interesting that you say it's because most people, boats are she's.
Okay.
Okay, and that's a form of anthropomorphization. Anthropomorphization.
Okay.
That's where we attribute human qualities to inanimate things. And we do this a lot, just with normal everyday things. Now, you add something that's going to interact with us on a quasi-emotional level, now you've got a powerhouse of problems that can crop up. And that's because we as human beings crave this attention, we crave empathy, we crave connection to people, and we will create it if we're not getting it in other places.
Okay.
We do it with pets, the trope about the crazy cat lady, that's what that is.
Okay.
We're forming pair relationships with actors, or not actors, but their characters on TV shows. We create relationships with them. We create relationships with the characters and the actors. So we're doing this all the time. We just don't see it as much because it's normal. Now, with the advent of Chat GPT and how well it can communicate with you, and we got something that can give you all kinds of positive regard and good feelings about yourself, it is a natural inclination for us to start forming a relationship that is a pseudo relationship with this platform. And the fact that OpenAI is just now starting to worry about that seems a bit too late.
Is it too late? Or because we have a whole bunch of other AI systems out there and they seem to be the first one to talk about it.
No. We've been talking that
you've been talking about it, but not AI companies have been talking. You talked about it.
That's because they don't want to talk about it. Why would they want us to talk about something that's concerning to the public? It's like tobacco companies.
Yeah.
They didn't start putting warning labels on their cigarette packs until they were forced to.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it's the same thing. What are they doing about it? Are they doing anything when it comes to Chat GPT? They don't know. They don't know what they're doing. They're going to quote, "We intend to further study the potential for emotional reliance and ways in which deeper integration of our models and systems." So they're not doing jack.
Okay.
They're just talking about this stuff.
Okay.
But that's one of the problems that I've been talking about.
But now OpenAI
we talked about. I think we talked about this all the way back in 2021.
Yeah, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even maybe. Yep.
Yeah.
That's because we're weeks ahead of the mainstream media.
Oh, nice plug.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
All right. So just to give you an update, listeners, it was Dr. Benson Honeydew's apartment where the 3D spirit Waldo comes on out and causes mayhem during the remaining parts of the show.
Oh, you really had to get there, huh?
I did. I just wanted to make sure
that's why you were looking all impatient for me to stop talking about falling in love with AI. You wanted to go back and fall in love with the ghost of
Hey, man.
Waldo.
Respect what is his name? Oh my goodness.
Waldo.
No, not Waldo.
Respect to
Jim Henson.
yeah,
The work of Jim Henson.
that's pretty good.
By what? Forming a parasocial relationship with it, or watching him dig through the internet to find answers?
Why didn't we ever have? Me. Yeah, so I never fell in love with any of the Muppets. Did they not emotionally attach with me or something?
Anytime we favorite something, we're creating some relationship with it.
I did like Snuffleupagus back in the day when he was hidden, and then they had to
when
make
he
him,
was a figment of
Big
Bird's
Big Bird
imagination,
saw him, and then nobody else would
and
see
then
him.
suddenly
Everybody knows him
everyone
now.
got concerned that Big Bird might have schizophrenia, and that was a bad idea. So
Is that why they put him in there?
revealed Snuffleupagus?
Is that why they did it?
Yeah,
Oh, wow, I did
yeah,
not know that.
they were concerned that Big Bird would be showing a mental illness that nobody wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Never, not like Children's Television Workshop ending our Tech Time Radio.
Hey, you guys!
All right, Gwen Way is up for our gadgets and gear segment next with a product that I have bought in maybe 10 of for the holiday. If it arrives on time, what is it? Gwen will get us to share all of this in our next segment. Currently, you're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. See you after this.
This is Mark
And Greg.
for Copiers Northwest
With a terrific offer.
called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner.
One of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service.
as long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Our weekly show covers the top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts and we do it in the sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And of course, with a little whiskey on the side. Today, Mark Gregoire, our whiskey connoisseur, is in the studio. Now, let me just tell
Is this
you,
a rye bourbon, Mark?
dude, this is like the best whiskey I think I've had so far this year. Clear as day. This is great.
I need to start remembering what you say.
This
Because
is
I feel like you've said that before.
No,
Said
not
quite a
this
few
year.
times. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
thank
but
you.
it
Sure.
works.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
well,
works because when he
it's just a
said it
little
2
bit
weeks,
better.
when he
Every
said it
day
2
is a
weeks
new
ago,
day.
it was up until that point.
Yeah.
Now he's
Yeah.
got
This is
something
good.
else.
All right, Mark, what are we tasting today that I'm excited about?
Today, from Subtle Spirits, it's called Further. It's a single barrel. Now, from Subtle Spirits, they say Subtle Spirits is an independent bottling company founded by Joshua Thines. Their limited production spirits range from single barrels to a very small batch blends. Each release features original artwork and tells a story that extends beyond the canvas, glass, and the mind. As we mentioned, this is from independent Subtle Spirits. Now, the distillation is actually from MGP in Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
Looks like
So it
a
is
small
sourced whiskey. It's straight bourbon. This one is 8 years, 10 months, 119.2 proof.
Mm.
The mash bill is undisclosed because I know you asked that, Mike, if it was a high rye or low rye bourbon. The mash bill is undisclosed, so I'm not sure. And the price for this is $105.
Well, it has a really good taste, both initially and finishing, and it has a rye burn.
It does. I like this.
And
Well, I like
the-
this a lot. It was.
The
I
artwork
did not
looks
have
like a
that
slaughterhouse.
reaction where it's like, okay, I'll see what it goes on. The very first sip was very good. It was very smooth and yeah, okay.
All right.
All right.
Kenix, will be exciting to see if I agree or disagree in the mumbles.
I think he may disagree. I
Now-
will say I don't quite get the painting here. It looks like it says it's a bus. It looks
It's
like
the
it's
inside of a bus.
Inside of a bus.
It looks
that
like a
says paint.
slaughterhouse.
It does look very unique. Okay. All right. Wow.
Now, don't forget to like and subscribe. In addition, make a comment. Let us know if you've had this whiskey, if you'd like us to review a whiskey, and also drink responsibly. Heaven can wait.
There you go. That's a really good saying. I like that.
I stole it.
All right. All right.
From a movie.
No, that's called flattery, right?
From a movie.
All right. With our first whiskey tasting completed, let's move on to our feature segment. Today we have Gwen Way joining the show. She's an expert in cybersecurity during the day and a game board geek in the evenings, as well as the producer of TechTime Radio and our gadgets and gear gal. Let's get ready to start our Comcast video stream in our next segment.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right, what's new in our gadgets and gear? Welcome to the show, Gwen. New listeners. What is that voice? Oh, wow.
So happy to be here.
Are you at a preschool? What was going on in the background? Do you have somebody visiting you?
No. Our neighbors across the street, one house has 4 kids, the other has 3, and they are enjoying the last of summer before school starts.
Okay, all right, okay.
Tell them to stop.
Exactly. I do want to give a shout out, though, speaking of kids, good call on the electric company reference, Mike.
Oh, you heard that, huh?
Yeah.
That followed Sesame
There we
Street.
go. Get off my lawn.
Do you remember Banana Splits?
I do remember the banana splits. You remember Romper Room?
I do not.
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1 Contact was my jam.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right, Gwen. Now everybody's like, I haven't heard of
What
any
the
of
hell are
those
these
shows.
old people talking
Right,
about?
exactly.
All right, we thought we were cool. All right. Tell us a little bit about yourself for any new listeners. Tell us about you and why we have you on the segment.
Sure thing. So I am, as Nathan said, a cybersecurity worker. I hesitate to say expert, but I think that's mostly just because I don't consider myself an expert on anything. But I've been working in IT for a quarter of a century now. I've decided to go with that instead of just 25 years because it sounds more impressive.
It does sound. I like that. Okay. All right. And you know what the best part about is that you're a gadgets and gear gal, which saves me money from only having to buy about every other gadget that you put on the show instead of
I was going to say,
everything.
you
buy
say that
everything
I
she
save your
talks
money,
about.
but you bought 10 of these already.
I did buy 10 of these. Well, I'm going to give them out to.
He buys everything you talk about.
Not
Gwen.
everything.
That's
Yeah, he does.
No, there's a couple I haven't bought. There's a couple. All right. Okay. Gwen, I have bought this, though. I was really excited. I was kind of lukewarm at first. And then I started looking into it as we talked last night. And then by the time I was all done at the end of the night, I decided to go online and spend $350, which is for some Kickstarters and stuff. That's normally just one unit, but I got 10 of these great units for that price. What is our? Well, that's right. What is our gadget and gear this month?
So this is very exciting and near and dear to my heart as well. It is, for those of us older, like a Tamagotchi and Game Boy Color had a baby.
Okay.
And it is called the Thumby Color.
The Thumby, THUMBY, Thumby Color.
Exactly. It's called that because it's small and you use your thumbs for all of the controllers.
It's got a couple of little buttons, got a little LCD screen. Now, I was skeptical at first of the games.
Yep.
All right, for this unit, because there's like these games, and we'll get into that. But when
Well,
I
I was looking at it and I was trying to figure out how you would actually play a game on something that small.
So they actually have designed
Like
the
the
games
phone.
to work specifically with this little device, and so they're all knockoff games of other games. They're not like Super Mario Brothers or any of these type. These are all unique created games for this unit itself. But they advertise that there's 100 games that they have. When you actually look into it online, there's about 500 of them.
Let her talk about it.
Okay, sorry. All
That
right, so
doesn't
tell
seem
us.
She's the
All
one
right,
supposed to
okay,
be telling us
that's
about it,
right.
not you.
Okay, it's the Thumby Color.
Yep. So this actually ties into what you were just saying. This is the second product of this type from this developer.
Okay, so
They
that's
originally
really
came out
good.
with a Thumby, and that's why you have so many games that are already available for it. I think the 500 include the black and white or two-tone for the original Thumby. They're sitting at about just a little over 100 for the Thumby Color specifically.
So this is the color model. So if we were
Yep.
moving up from the black and white model to the color model. Now, what was the goal to produce this?
They were looking for 25,000.
Okay.
As of right now, they are sitting at 89,000. So I think that bodes pretty well.
So let me just tell you, last night when we did the screenshot of it, it was 87.
Yep.
Now it's 89. So that means
Yeah, that's you.
So that means I spent 350. So that means a lot of people jumped on it from the
Yeah.
time. How many backers does this have?
We're up over 1,000 at this point. It's
Oh, that's good.
1,003.
That's a good type of deal. And how many days to go for everybody that's listening?
We still have 28 days, so you have until September 10th. Basically, wait till the kids go back to school, think about it a little bit, and then buy yourself something to enjoy your time away from the kids.
Okay, so now this is small, and that's right. This is small. This fits on a keychain. Is that correct?
That is correct. It was made to fit on a keychain so that you could take it anywhere you needed to go, kind of like the Tamagotchi.
Okay, perfect.
I don't
Now,
have to feed it to keep it alive, do I?
How much
You do
is
not.
the unit? Talk about battery life. How much is the unit and battery life? Let's go there.
Okay, so for costs, you can get one unit in the classic purple color, which was the only color that the original came in, for $49. Or you can have a choice of color, either clear or the purple for $55. They also have a special edition Thumbie that is black, and you can only get it from the Kickstarter. So
Only from Kickstarter, the black one.
If you
this
wanna
is
go
going to
with
get beat
black
up
to
if it's on your
coordinate.
keys, though, right? So I don't know if the case color makes too much of a difference. This is going to be in your pockets.
You're really excited about this, aren't you?
Dude, this is yeah.
I mean, you've literally interjected your thoughts on this every single
I'm
time.
sorry. Well,
I mean,
just
it's
really
pretty cool. It's
I-
pretty cool. It's a rechargeable unit, so
Okay.
you don't have to worry about, taking the back off to put batteries in. It's rechargeable via USB-C, which just about everything is these days, which is kind of nice. That's also how you load the games onto it via USB-C. So,
Okay. And if you have 2 units,
Mhm.
what can you do if you have 2 units in your household? Because I grew up in my
What
wife.
can you
and
do
I-
with 10 units?
My wife and I both
Let's
had a
be honest.
Tamagotchi, and it was a fighting guy. And what we do when we were dating, and then you'd put them together, and then they would get into a ring and they'd fight each other. And so it was, it was really, I mean, as a young dating couple, nothing's better than beating up on your bride wife to be later, with your
Yeah, how
with
about
your
that?
character, right? So, but what can you do with these units if you have 2 of them?
you can actually take the USB-C cord that you are charging it with and adding games to it with, connect them together and play against each other, or cooperatively if you prefer.
Oh, see,
Can you do that with 10 units?
Yeah, well, no, you can only do 1-to-1. So I mean, it would only be if you
Well,
had 10
Nathan,
units. You have
Nathan's
5
going to
people.
try and figure out how to do a LAN party with them.
You could do like a little
You could
miniature
do a
Halo
LAN
party.
party. You could just, sit quietly after a Christmas dinner and everybody just kind of beats up on each other.
You know, they have a
Via
Tetris
game.
game for this too. They have a Tetris clone of this.
Yep.
So you could literally have Tetris on one thing
This
versus
is
Tetris
Gwen's
on the other.
segment. Stop it.
Was that?
And it has a 2-hour battery life. You had
2-hour
asked about
battery
the
life.
battery life. It's 2 hours. It takes about an hour to actually recharge. So what you could do is you play your games,
Yep.
you put them down to recharge, you have your pies and ice creams, and then you go back to your games.
Oh. Okay. All right. So, final price. Where can people find these Kickstarters? I don't have to worry about them.
Just
Taking
have him
anything
call
that I've got.
Nathan. He's got
No,
a
tell
whole
us.
distributorship
No,
going
Gwen
on.
was the one that posted it last night, and I
That's
just did
true.
a lot of
this is-
research
I
on
take
my
the blame
own
on this
because I
one.
was very interested in it. Where can they find this?
So go to Kickstarter.com and search for Thumbie with a B color. It pops right up. You can just type in Thumbie and it comes up. You can get a unit in the purple color for $49. You can choose your own color by upping that price a little bit. Like I said, you've got 28 days until September 10th. Jump on this. It's just going to be
All right.
fun.
Gwen, are you getting one? That's why I
Oh,
always
yeah.
ask. you.
Already ordered.
You already ordered. Okay.
Yep.
Already ordered.
Nope.
Mr. Gourdet, maybe you'll get one for Christmas.
Maybe.
There you go. Maybe Santa Claus will give you one. You and Odie can then just
We can
play-
beat up on each other.
You guys can play
Okay.
In the
against each
corner.
other.
Yeah.
Nothing better. I can see you guys at the post dinner type of deal, and you're just sitting there. How you guys are doing? You guys are all playing. Okay.
Just ignoring you the whole time.
That's
It'll make
right.
for a very quiet dinner for Nathan.
That's right. All right, Gwen, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure to talk to you about new gadgets. We will see you here next month. And we're getting in the time for like Halloween, and
Oh yeah,
we
we're
probably
getting
have
into the
something
fun
spooky.
stuff.
Yeah. You have to have something else that Nathan can spend buku bucks on.
I'm
and-
still
I
waiting for
think
my
I
little,
might be able to find something.
I'm
for
still
him.
waiting for my clock robot to come. So that one was delayed a little
You're
bit.
still waiting
so
for
the go-karts?
go-karts?
They canceled that.
Oh, they
The
can't.
they
go-karts
decided-
were not my fault. I just want to put that out there.
That was mine. I know. And that was supposed to be made by the same company that was doing Uber and something. So they kind of went under. So
Bummer.
I did get my credit card. Always pay for your stuff on credit card. Whenever you do a Kickstarter or any of these type of where you pledge money and you have them take the money and then they say they're going to do it, because if they don't deliver it, you can always go and refute the claims and get your money back.
Exactly. Wise words.
There you go. Well, that ends our segment, Gadgets and Gear with Gwen Way. Up next,
Hi,
we have
Gwen.
Mike's mesmerizing moment in its new spot on the show.
Welcome to Mike's mesmerizing moment. What does Mike have to say today?
All right, Mike, here's talking about your article. Do you think relations with AI will turn parasocial, meaning essentially considering AI personalities as friends despite having no real physical interaction with them?
Yes.
All right, explain that to me. Why?
Well, I think I already did.
Well,
but are we gonna see some really out of the norm?
Yes.
Or is this just general to
Or
everybody?
like out of the norm. Are we going to see
yeah.
people going to Vegas with their
there's always-
laptop computer and their chat GPT bot and say, this is my new...
Yes, we're going to see that because there is always going to be a section of the population that overdoes these type of things. So just like the person that married the pillow, and I think overseas, we are going to see people who are utilizing this as a surrogate to a significant other. And part of that is because it's not likely to generate any friction or conflict in their relationship. So that's one reason why people glom onto these things. And the fact that we just naturally do that anyway.
All right. That's going to be an interesting time when that happens.
There's going to be so much weird stuff happening from here on out. It's just not.
So you need to go to CES and create a robot that you can have chat GPT in and you can make a fortune.
Yeah, we can send it into adult homes and have them communicate with
Wow, there
the
you go. All right.
customers there.
That ends our mesmerizing moment. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as we will be doing so during the break. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media page.
If you like our show, if you really like us, we could use your support on patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm
like
the
us
English
in
guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You know you butcher the English.
Okay, so it's
all the
it's
time.
Patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you
/
if you really like our show, you can subscribe to patreon.com and help us out.
Oh, and you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on?
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you know what our Facebook page is?
TechTime Radio.
At TechTime Radio.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's TechTime Radio.
Or you can even Instagram with us.
And that's at TechTime Radio.
That's at TechTime Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
And it's TechTime Radio.
It's at TechTime Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social
like
media.
Like us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it.
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going back to August 16th, 1995, the first Internet Explorer. In 1995, the World Wide Web expanded, and web browsers became an essential tool for navigating this digital frontier. Microsoft recognized the need for a browser seamlessly integrated within its Windows operating system. Thus, on August 16th, 1995, Microsoft launched Internet Explorer, marking a significant milestone in web browsing history. Now, Microsoft... What's that?
Because it sucked.
Well, Microsoft introduced Internet Explorer, which at the time was a modified version of Spyglass Mosaic, which Microsoft had licensed. Now, codename O'Hare, before it became officially released, named after Chicago Airport, The name was later dropped and the browser was officially called Internet Explorer. Unlike other browsers at the time, though, IE was integrated into the Windows operating system. It became the default browser, bundled with Windows 95 and subsequent versions after that. This integration strategy contributed to its worldwide adoption. Now, the iconic blue E, the blue lowercase e icon, became synonymous with Internet Explorer. Users worldwide recognized it as their gateway to the internet. Despite its flaws, IE holds a special place in computer history. Developers remember debugging websites specifically for IE quirks, and users recall the familiar interface. Microsoft essentially phased out IE in favor of Microsoft Edge. In summary, Internet Explorer played a pivotal role in shaping how we browse the web. Its legacy lives on. Spyglass did sue Microsoft for not paying what they thought was the proper royalties, and they settled out of court for $8 million.
Wow. So Microsoft created something that somebody else made and then put it to market, and then it drove all these other companies to build better browser.
It did. That's right. And that's why we have Google Chrome and other browsers today.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, that was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 200 weekly broadcasts spanning 5 years of video, podcasts, and blog information, you can always visit us at techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows. We're going to take a commercial break, but when we return, we have the Mark Mumble whiskey review. Will Mark like the whiskey Mike and I are enjoying? We'll see you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. We are celebrating a portion of the population today.
Okay, what's that?
It is Left-Handers Day.
Oh!
Yeah, how about that?
Mr. Gourdet.
Yeah.
All right.
He guessed it before the show.
He did. He guessed it before. Are
Luckily,
you
Nathan's
left-handed?
back was turned.
Well,
Are you left-handed?
no, I'm not left-handed.
Okay.
Yeah. Today celebrates the differences and distinctiveness of left-handed individuals. The day was first celebrated by Dean R. Campbell, founder of the Left-Handers International, in 1976. Now, a famous left-hander and an artist was Leonardo da Vinci. So if you are left-handed or not, grab a left-handed cup and make a toast to all left-handers everywhere.
Oh,
Woo,
there you
toast
go.
to you
Cheers to
left-handers. Now, as we were talking about an artist, I would like to talk about Subtle Spirits, because each unique piece of artwork is on its label. So every release has a unique piece of artwork.
Okay.
This release was done by Seattle artist Ira Fenstra, and a donation to the Bentown Fund at Seattle Children was done for each one of these bottles.
Oh, that's nice.
On another note, the owner of Subtle Spirits, Joshua, always a futurist, in 2021 was the first to combine spirits and art in a brand new way by creating the first NFT-backed limited edition whiskey on the Ethereum blockchain. I bet that makes you go,
That sure does. All right, an NFT for this. Okay, that's good. Okay.
Now, for me, reviewing this bottle was a little bit difficult. I loved Age MGP. However, at 8 years, I still get a bit of grain on this one. It has strong caramel notes, however, not a lot of depth. It's a pleasant sip. However, for $100, I will not be purchasing another bottle. I am curious where Nathan and Mike stand on this one.
I'm pretty sure we already knew that.
I could kind of tell because we were kind of talking it up, and I could kind of see Mark was like, I don't know. See, again, I have certain limits of what I would spend on a bottle. I don't know if I'd spend 100 for this, but if this was in the 50 to 60 category, I would spend 50 to 60 to absolutely get it.
Yeah, it's big. I actually spent a little bit more than 105 because 105 is what the bottle goes for, but then there was the donation to the Children's Hospital.
Okay.
And then
did you do this at an auction where you bought it and then
no, this was just a gentleman that I know bought a barrel and gave it to our group, and for a donation to try and raise money for charity.
It's spicy.
I like it though. I really do like it a lot.
It's good. I enjoy the finish and the initial flavor rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it's a pleasant sip. It's not overly complex, but
This
for
would be
the
on your bottom
price,
shelf. On your bottom shelf.
yeah, it's on the bottom shelf until the bottle's done, and the artwork's gorgeous. You know, I believe it is a bus, and it's
Looks
a
like a
local
bus.
scene here in Seattle.
It's a bus. It looks like a bus.
Yes, the
Yep.
interior of a bus.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Looks like the 60s.
Mark, thanks for that mumble. Whiskey and technology, such a great pairing.
Mm.
Just like the U.S. men's Olympic and women's Olympic basketball teams, both winning gold medals. Did you watch any of the games?
Boy, you really reached for that one, didn't you?
No, that's like a good pairing. Did you watch any of the Olympics?
No, I don't watch
The women's game was the very last medal. We were one medal down to China at the time. So with the women's basketball team beating France, I feel bad for France because they got second place in the men's tournament and in the women's tournament. They got second place.
On the women's, they battled though. That
They
was
did.
close. I was surprised because our women's team generally dominate. We're usually a tier above the whole world.
Yep.
You know, men's basketball is quite even now in many respects, but good job and women's soccer picked up the goal
1-0. I have not watched
Wow.
a soccer game, and I got up Saturday morning and I watched the soccer game and was very intrigued. And we were Brazil was just killing us in the first half. They're always on our side of our goal, and the poor gal missed like 4 shots on goal. She just couldn't get her foot onto it, and then all of a sudden we came back and won. That's amazing.
That was exciting. We beat a lot of good teams in that run.
We did.
Okay.
All right. There you go.
Wow.
That's
That was a good pairing.
Just call me Bob Costas.
Great pairing.
No,
I
not
love
really.
it.
There you go. All right.
U.S. teams and gold medals.
There we go. All right, now let's prepare for our technology fail of the week, brought to you by Elite Executive Services, technology experts to help you out of a technology fail.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh, I failed. Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, well, today's technology fail is kind of an odd one. It comes to us from Waymo. We've had them talked about a couple times on our show.
Yeah, because they run from the cops.
Yeah, they ran from the cops, and these are the self-driving vehicles that are now available in San Francisco. And when you own an autonomous vehicle company, where do all your Waymo robot taxis go in the evening? They go to a parking lot. Now, this parking lot has been set up in a San Francisco neighborhood that essentially has become the hog fest of all events. I just posted the live URL feed into our YouTube channel. So if you're watching YouTube, you can go and find it. But there's a live feed URL that essentially is showing people and there were 600 people on this morning when I was on, that are streams of the Waymo robot taxis coming into the parking lot. Now, sometimes they park correctly. Sometimes they park incorrectly. Sometimes they get confused with each other. And when they get confused with each other, the robot taxis, they end up honking back and forth to each other. Now, what's really bad...
They're communicating for the eventual takedown of the human populace.
So Sophia Tung does not really think this is a good idea. She lives right across the parking lot where the Waymo is essentially renting its robot taxis parking lot. She says that at 4 a.m. in the morning is when the signs go off, and all of a sudden you can hear the horns talking. So she says she doesn't need to have an alarm clock anymore. She can hear the beeping of the car. She said, now it is somewhat interesting to watch, but it's nothing like you would see in the animated movie Cars or anything to that point. It essentially comes back out. Cars go in and park. They don't park correctly. They come back out. They try to park again. They try to park again. And at the whole time, they beep at each other so that when the next car wants to move in, it can try to tell the autonomous vehicle that has nobody there, essentially move out of my way so I can park.
So we have a live stream where we can watch this at any time and watch Waymo plot to take over the world.
That's right.
Can I just say that that's kind of ridiculous that the cars don't have assigned parking?
It kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they should just have.
Hey, first come, first serve. That's the way it is.
And when they come in there, if they're tired and their batteries are depleted and they can't move quick enough, what happens is they'll just pick a parking spot that may not be synchronous with the other parking spots. And then the
See,
other
that's so
Waymo car comes behind it and
That's
says,
so
hey,
ridiculous.
you're in my parking spot
my
area. You
parking
didn't
space."
park right. I can't park here.
Wow.
And they go around and around and around.
Even autonomous
Imagine.
cars are bitching about not having enough parking.
Nathan,
Yeah.
what's the point of them honking at each other?
They're talking to each
Because
other. They're
they've been
communicating.
they've been programmed that if one is in the way, that it will honk, and they consider it to be like a human-based.
It's a
Yeah.
So their
communicator.
idea is it's human-based.
They're
and it's gonna
talking about
move.
the cop
They're
that tried
talking
to
to each
pull them over in Phoenix.
All right.
So there you go. Well, if there isn't any Waymos in the lot, the flock will start migrating back between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m.
That's
on Sunday through Thursday, and 11 p.m. through midnight Friday and
Can
Saturday.
I go out and throw bread on the ground and see if they eat it?
The noise goes for as much as an hour at a time before it settles down. If you want to see that stream, I posted it in the YouTube feed. You can have it taken care of.
Have you?
Now, Tong has said that she is making a lot of money off of her self-generated stream, which is just an old camera that she had in a computer laying around that she decided to put up and have the streaming services taken care of. Now, it was so popular that she had to actually move to a secondary stream because she was getting so many live feeds watching it. But you can just go take a look at it. All you have to do is take a look at Waymo parking lot, also on YouTube, and it comes straight up with that.
Before you move on, have you
Yes.
seen the movie Brother Bear?
I have not seen Brother Bear.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, so I wouldn't get through.
What's your reference?
Okay, well, my reference is there's this scene where the bears are going through the land and they run into these two rams. Those are the ones that have the horns, right? Like,
Yes.
and they're yelling out into the mountain range, "No, you shut up." And what they don't understand is that it's echoing back to them. So they're getting back and "No, you shut up." So they keep going in this spiral of "No, you shut up. No, you shut up. Hey, just shut up. Shut up." That's the cars.
So this is the Waymo. That's what
This
the
is the
Waymo's
Waymo.
saying. Shut up. Get out of my space.
Get out of my
That's
way.
my parking space. Get out.
It's pretty funny. I did watch about 15 to 20 minutes of it, and I was pretty darn entertained.
Good night, John Boy.
All right. Okay, now let's get ready
Waymo
for our Nathan Nugget.
This is your nugget of the week.
I feel like that should have been your nugget.
Well, no, that was just their technology fail. All right, cyber squatting domains, the art of guessing a cool name. Purchase a domain for a site and then selling it for 10 times that is the goal of Jeremy Green Etch of Brooklyn, who bought the site Harris-Walls domain name, along with many other hypothetical tickets in 2020. He describes himself as the best political cyber squatter ever. By the time Vice President Harris announced Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as the running mate on Tuesday, the website harriswalls.com was already taken. In fact, it was snatched up 4 years ago, and not by a candidate, but by a political Brooklyn-based millennial that goes out and buys domain names.
This isn't prescient.
Was that?
Nothing.
All right.
Your script has the word prescient in it.
Okay. Jeremy Green Etch 36 is a trademark attorney who runs an online marketplace where people can buy and sell registered trademarks and domains. He's probably better known now as the domain investor.
He's a trademark attorney?
So he is, yes. So he's a trade. That's what he does. And then he has an online market.
And so he uses his cool inside knowledge to...
Well, no. According to in August of 2020, he anticipated Harris might run again for the future. And so he snagged up 15 Harris-related domain names, combined with every sort of white man he could find to add to the ticket itself. This included Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman, Washington Governor Jay Inslee, and of course, Walt. Jeremy already has his 2028 elections covered with 20 Republican candidates, including current vice president candidate J.D. Vance.
Okay.
With other possible running mates.
I've got a question for you.
Yes.
Because I know you do stuff like this. You will
purchase
buy domain names just to buy them.
Yep.
Is the amount of money he gets paid back worth the amount of money he's paying out for all these domain names?
Well, he's had this for 4 years. He probably paid $19 for 4 years. All right. So let's just say it's $20 times 4. That's going to be $100.
Just for that domain name.
For $15K.
But just for that domain name.
Yeah.
If he bought like multiples of different domain names, he could be spending up to $10,000 on domain names and getting a $5,000 profit.
I think that's pretty profitable. I'm sure he likes also guessing. But now let's move to our pick of the day whiskey tasting.
All
Mark,
right.
what do we have?
Today we're doing Subtle Spirits. It is called Further. It's a single barrel. It's sourced from MGP, straight bourbon, 8 years, 10 months, 119.2 proof, $105.
All right. We give him a thumbs up.
That's a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Absolute thumbs up.
Okay.
All right. And Mark has.
He's thumbs.
Overall, I'd
thumbs
probably give it a
even.
thumbs down. I would not, because I would not buy another bottle, so that would not be a thumbs up. I'm glad I have it for various reasons. It's a pleasant sip.
Have you with all your whiskey snooty people, have you had them taste it? Did they like it?
This was a barrel released through my whiskey snooty people.
Okay,
snooty whiskey people.
Everybody's being fairly polite about it since it was for well, not a gift, but it was for charity.
Bye-bye. Join us
Bye.
next week. See you
Thanks
next
for
week.
joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.